It's been 30 years since The Thin Blue Line, 1995 to 1996, first aired, delivering classic British humor and unforgettable performances. Starring Rowan Atkinson as the strict yet lovable Inspector Fowler, the sitcom became a cult favorite for its witty writing and hilarious portrayal of police life. But what happened to the cast after the show ended? Some went on to have thriving careers in film and television, while others stepped away from the spotlight. As we enter 2025, let's take a look at where they are now, who's still in the industry, who moved on, and who we've sadly lost along the way. Gabrielle Blunt played the elderly lady in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at the age of 76. Though her role was brief, she brought a warmth and comedic charm that made her character stand out despite limited screen time. Blunt had a long career in British television and film, but she never reached true stardom, spending decades in supporting roles while struggling to make ends meet. Though she married engineer Colin McFarlane, their union was marked by distance and emotional detachment, exacerbated by her relentless pursuit of work. They had no children, and Blunt often spoke of her regrets, lamenting the loneliness that came with prioritizing a career that never quite rewarded her sacrifices. As she aged, her health declined, and she spent her final years in near isolation, suffering from memory loss and the slow deterioration of her once sharp mind. By the time she passed away on June 10, 2014, at the age of 95, she had long been forgotten by the industry. Walter Sparrow portrayed the elderly man in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 68, bringing his signature charm to the role. His character was an endearing presence, though minor, adding to the show's eccentric humor. Sparrow's career had flickered between obscurity and fleeting recognition, with bit parts in films and television keeping him afloat but never truly securing him a lasting legacy. His personal life was a mirror of his career, unstable and riddled with disappointments. His marriage to actress Freda Jackson was both a source of companionship and deep sorrow, as their financial struggles and long periods of separation took a toll. They had a son, but Sparrow's absence due to work meant their relationship remained distant. In his later years, health problems plagued him, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which progressively robbed him of his independence. He passed away on May 31, 2000, at the age of 73. Kenneth Macdonald played the nightclub manager in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 45, bringing his signature comedic touch to the role. Known for his work in Only Fools and Horses, he had built a career as a beloved character actor, but financial struggles and typecasting kept him from ever truly breaking out into leading roles. His marriage to Sheila Macdonald provided stability, but the pressures of constant work and the fear of being forgotten in the industry left him battling anxiety and stress. Despite his cheerful on-screen persona, he privately wrestled with self-doubt and the creeping realization that his career was stagnating. In 2001, while on holiday in Hawaii, he suffered a sudden and fatal heart attack at the age of 50. His untimely death shocked his colleagues and fans, cutting short a life that, despite bringing joy to so many, was filled with personal and professional frustrations that he never had the chance to fully overcome. Stephen Moore played Ron in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 58, delivering a performance filled with dry humor and subtle wit. His career was defined by versatility, best known for voicing Marvin the paranoid android in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, yet he never achieved true mainstream fame. Despite a talent that should have secured his place among Britain's acting greats, Moore remained perpetually typecast, his most recognized work often being voice roles rather than on-screen performances. His personal life was equally tumultuous. Married 4 times, he struggled with the emotional toll of failed relationships and the estrangement from some of his children. As he aged, financial instability became a pressing issue, and he battled with depression, exacerbated by his fading career. His health declined rapidly, and he passed away on October 4, 2019, at the age of 81. Sheila Gish played Maeve, the eccentric sex therapist in The Thin Blue Line, in 1995 at the age of 53. Her character was witty, unconventional, and unapologetically bold, standing out despite her limited screen time. Gish's career had been a mix of critical acclaim and personal frustration. While she won awards for stage performances, her film and television career never quite matched her talent. Her first marriage to actor Roland Curran ended in divorce, leaving her to raise their daughters, Lou and Kay, while juggling an unpredictable career. Though she later found love again with actor Dennis Lawson, her life was overshadowed by personal tragedies, including a battle with ocular melanoma that led to the removal of her right eye. The disease eventually spread, and after years of fighting, she succumbed to cancer on March 9, 2005, at the age of 62, a tragic end for a woman who had fought tirelessly for recognition. Trevor Peacock played the Turnip Man in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 64, bringing his signature charm to the small yet memorable role. Known for his beloved portrayal of Jim Trott in The Vicar of Dibley, he was a familiar face on British television, but behind the laughter, his life unraveled in quiet devastation. Diagnosed with dementia in his later years, he slowly lost his ability to perform and, more heartbreakingly, his ability to recognize the people he loved. His wife, actress Tilly Tremaine, became his caregiver, watching helplessly as the man she had spent decades with faded before her eyes. His children, Daniel and Harry, supported him, but the cruel disease took its toll on the entire family. In his final years, he was a shadow of himself, unable to recall his career or the joy he once brought to millions. He died on March 8, 2021, at the age of 89, his brilliant mind erased by a disease that showed no mercy. Serena Evans played Sergeant Patricia Dawkins in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 36, portraying a no-nonsense, sharp-witted officer who often found herself frustrated by Inspector Fowler's outdated views. Though she enjoyed early success in British television, her career gradually declined as opportunities became scarce. Typecast and struggling to reinvent herself, she faced years of professional disappointment. She married fellow actor Daniel Flynn, believing they would build a happy life together, but their marriage suffered under the pressures of inconsistent work and financial instability. Their only son, resentful of his parents' struggles, distanced himself, leaving her isolated. As time passed, she battled depression, finding solace in alcohol, which only deepened her downward spiral. Now 65 in 2025, she lives a reclusive life away from the spotlight, rarely making public appearances, her once promising career now a distant memory. Jonathan Cake played Stallion in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 28, portraying a self-assured, flirtatious officer who provided comedic relief. With a promising start in both British and American television, he seemed destined for stardom, but bad career choices and an inability to secure leading roles left him struggling in an industry that quickly forgets. His marriage to a fellow actress ended in a bitter, drawn-out divorce, with custody battles over their daughter further draining his emotional and financial resources. As his acting prospects dwindled, he turned to gambling, losing large sums of money in a desperate attempt to escape reality. A series of failed business ventures only deepened his financial ruin. By 2025, at 57, he remains a shadow of his former self, relying on occasional voiceover work to make ends meet, living in a rented flat with debts mounting, his dreams of Hollywood stardom long buried under years of misfortune. Rowan Atkinson portrayed Inspector Raymond Fowler in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 40, leading the series with his signature blend of physical comedy and deadpan delivery. By that time, he was already a household name thanks to Blackadder and Mr. Bean, but the pressures of fame weighed heavily on him. While his career flourished, his personal life was riddled with turmoil. His 24-year marriage to Sunetra Sastry collapsed when he left her for actress Louise Ford, a decision that fractured his relationship with his daughter, Lily, who later distanced herself from him entirely. Though Atkinson continued to be successful, earning millions from Johnny English and various television appearances, he battled a deep sense of disillusionment. His comedic genius, once his greatest asset, became his prison. No matter how hard he tried to take on serious roles, the world only saw Mr. Bean. Now 70 in 2025, he lives a reclusive life, rarely making public appearances, yearning for recognition beyond the characters that defined him but unable to escape their shadow. Owen Teale played Gary in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 34, a minor but impactful character who added subtle drama to the comedic series. Though Teale later found success in stage productions and television, his career was riddled with disappointments and missed opportunities. Typecast as a brooding, intense presence, he struggled to find leading roles, which took a toll on his confidence. His marriage, initially filled with passion, soon became a battleground of resentment, exacerbated by his heavy drinking and increasing paranoia about his fading career. After his divorce, his relationship with his 2 children became strained, and financial instability forced him to take uninspired roles just to stay afloat. As he aged, health problems emerged, with excessive alcohol consumption leading to severe liver damage. By 2025, at 63, he lives a lonely existence in a modest countryside home, his once commanding presence reduced to a frail figure, haunted by the opportunities he let slip through his fingers. Mina Anwar played WPC Maggie Habib in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 26, portraying a competent and ambitious officer in a department full of incompetence. She continued acting after the show, appearing in various television dramas and comedies, yet true stardom always eluded her. Despite her talent, she often found herself typecast or relegated to supporting roles. In her personal life, she never married, dedicating herself to her career, but as opportunities dwindled, she found herself struggling with feelings of isolation. The industry, unforgiving to aging actresses, gradually pushed her aside, leaving her clinging to smaller roles in theater and independent projects. Without a family of her own to turn to, she filled the void with work, though the fear of irrelevance loomed constantly. Now 55 in 2025, she continues to act but remains largely overlooked, her once promising career reduced to occasional guest appearances and forgotten performances. Stephen Fry played Brigadier Blaster Sump in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at the age of 38, bringing to life an over-the-top, pompous military man whose exaggerated sense of self-importance made him both ridiculous and oddly endearing. Despite his immense success in comedy, acting, and writing, Fry's personal life has been marked by deep despair. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder, he has battled severe depression, leading to multiple suicide attempts and periods of self-imposed exile. His love life has been equally tumultuous. While he once found solace in a long-term relationship, his struggles with mental illness and addiction placed unbearable strain on it, leading to its collapse. Fry never had children, a fact he has publicly expressed regret over. Years of self-medicating with alcohol and prescription drugs wreaked havoc on his health, and his extravagant spending habits nearly left him bankrupt. By 2025, at 67, Fry lives in relative seclusion, his public appearances rare. James Dreyfus played PC Kevin Goody in The Thin Blue Line in 1995 at 27, embodying the dim-witted but well-meaning officer with impeccable comedic timing. His career soared in the late 1990s with roles in Gimme 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 and Notting Hill, but his outspoken nature and controversial opinions led to a steep downfall. Once celebrated, he became ostracized from the industry, with former colleagues severing ties and work offers disappearing overnight. The rejection took its toll. Battling depression and an overwhelming sense of betrayal, he withdrew from public life, retreating into solitude. Without a partner or family to lean on, loneliness became his constant companion, and the laughter he once spread became a distant memory. Now 56 in 2025, he lives in obscurity, his once bright future now a relic of the past, a stark reminder of how quickly fame can turn to exile. Mark Addy played DC Gary Boyle in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 31, delivering a performance that was both comedic and charming in its absurdity. He found fame through roles in The Full Monty and Game of Thrones, but his success came at a terrible cost. The relentless pressures of Hollywood drained him, forcing him into roles he despised just to stay relevant. His weight, once an endearing characteristic, became a source of industry cruelty, with casting directors branding him unmarketable as he aged. The stress of a fading career pushed him into long periods of depression, straining his marriage beyond repair. His wife, exhausted by his mood swings and disillusioned with their struggling finances, left him, taking their children to start anew without him. Devastated, he withdrew from public life, avoiding the industry that had once embraced him. By 2025, at 61, he is a ghost of his former self, living in quiet despair. David Haig played D.I. Derek Grimm in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 46, embodying the loud, overbearing detective inspector whose self-importance often led to absurd situations. Despite his talent, he struggled to find roles that matched his ambitions, often feeling overshadowed by more commercially successful actors. He poured himself into theater, but the instability of stage work left him emotionally drained and financially strained. His marriage, once strong, collapsed under the weight of his perfectionism and workaholic tendencies, leaving him estranged from his children. As he aged, he became increasingly bitter about the opportunities he felt he had missed. His health deteriorated due to years of stress and loneliness, and now, at 69 in 2025, he lives a quiet life in London, haunted by the feeling that his best years were wasted on dreams that never came true. Kevin Allen played DC Robert Cray in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 33, a minor but striking presence in the show, bringing a mix of intensity and dry humor to his fleeting appearances. Unlike his fellow cast members, his career took a different path, directing and producing, yet never achieving the recognition he so desperately sought. He dreamed of being a major force in the British film industry, but success remained elusive. Every promising project seemed to collapse under financial strain or lack of support, leaving him in a constant state of professional frustration. His personal life fared no better. His marriage to a fellow actress ended in acrimony, with bitter custody battles over their daughter. Estranged from his family and drowning in mounting debt, he took to self-destructive habits, seeking solace in alcohol and reckless decisions. By 2025, at 62, his once promising career is a forgotten footnote and his body weakened by years of neglect. Rudolph Walker played PC Frank Gladstone in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 56, portraying a wise, patient officer who provided stability amidst the chaos. As a pioneering black actor in British television, he faced racism and limited opportunities throughout his career, forcing him to work harder for recognition. Despite his perseverance, mainstream success largely eluded him, leaving him feeling overlooked. His personal life was equally tumultuous. 2 failed marriages left him heartbroken, and his children, raised in his absence, struggled to reconnect with him later in life. Though he was eventually honored for his contributions to British entertainment, it came too late to heal the wounds of years spent feeling undervalued. Now 85 in 2025, he suffers from declining health and spends most of his time alone, reflecting on a lifetime of fighting for a place in an industry that never truly embraced him. Rupert Vansittart played Commander Crow in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 37, portraying a strict and authoritative figure whose stern demeanor added a level of seriousness to the otherwise light-hearted show. While he enjoyed a steady career in film and television, he never achieved the A-list recognition he once aspired to. His personal life was riddled with quiet sadness. His marriage, though long-lasting, was filled with unspoken resentments, and his wife's eventual departure left him emotionally adrift. Years of overwork and neglecting his health led to severe diabetes and heart complications, conditions that worsened as he aged. As acting opportunities dwindled, he became increasingly isolated, spending his days watching old performances that reminded him of a career that never quite hit the heights he had dreamed of. By 2025, at 67, he lives in a care facility, his once commanding presence reduced to a frail shell of a man, his only company the ghosts of the roles he once played. Poraj played the young man in The Thin Blue Line in 1996 at the age of 20, a minor character who added moments of awkward humor to the show. Despite a promising start, his career never gained momentum, and he found himself typecast in forgettable roles. His attempts to transition into writing and directing were met with little success, leaving him financially unstable. He married actress Sally Breton, believing they could build a life together, but the constant pressure of his struggling career strained their relationship. They had one daughter, whom Beau adored, but after his divorce, he saw her less frequently, deepening his emotional struggles. His finances worsened as acting jobs became scarce, forcing him to take on menial work outside the industry. In 2018, he suffered a mental breakdown, spending several months in therapy. Now 48 in 2025, he lives alone in a small London flat, scraping by with sporadic voiceover gigs and rare convention appearances, his dreams of artistic success long since faded. Alexander Armstrong played the arrested man in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 25, portraying a clueless petty criminal caught in absurd situations. Though his role was minor, his comedic delivery made the character stand out. After the show, Armstrong built a career in television, becoming well known as a host of Pointless and for his work in radio. However, his aspirations for serious acting never materialized, leaving him creatively unfulfilled. His marriage to Hannah Bronwyn Snow, while lasting, was plagued by distance. His career commitments often kept him away from their 4 children, leading to emotional detachment. In his late 40s, he struggled with depression, feeling trapped in a persona that overshadowed his deeper ambitions. Health issues compounded his struggles as stress took its toll. By 2025, at 55, he remains a familiar face on British television. Colin McFarlane played European Commissioner Mustafa Delcroix in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at the age of 22, a character that added an international flair to the show's comedic landscape. With his deep, commanding voice, McFarlane found steady work in film and television, often voicing authoritative figures in major productions like the Dark Knight trilogy. However, despite his professional consistency, his personal life was anything but stable. He married early but found that his dedication to acting made maintaining relationships nearly impossible. His wife eventually left him, taking their 2 children with her, and he spent years struggling to reconnect with them. In his 50s, he was diagnosed with a chronic illness that made work increasingly difficult. By 2025, at 51 years old, he continues to take occasional roles, but his health issues have slowed him considerably, leaving him to navigate a lonely, uncertain future. Archie Panjabi played Nazia Habib in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at the age of 23, a minor but spirited character who added diversity to the show's comedic fabric. Though her role was brief, she went on to have a successful career, most notably starring in The Good Wife, 2009 to 2015, which earned her an Emmy. However, her career was riddled with unseen tensions, including behind-the-scenes conflicts with co-stars that led to her abrupt departure from the show. Despite professional accolades, her personal life was deeply troubled. She married Rajesh Nahlani in 1998, but their relationship became strained due to her intense career focus. The marriage, though lasting on paper, was reportedly devoid of emotional connection, leading to rumors of secret separations. In 2025, At 52 years old, she remains active in television, but her once thriving career has slowed, and her private life remains a source of quiet turmoil. Stephen Marcus played Terry in The Thin Blue Line, 1995, at 33, a small-time crook with a mix of menace and humor. Though he gained wider recognition with Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, 1998, his career soon stagnated, as directors repeatedly cast him in similar tough guy roles. Typecasting made it difficult for him to secure more serious or varied work, leading to growing financial instability. His marriage to an aspiring actress was short-lived, ending in a bitter divorce that left him estranged from his son, Jamie. With dwindling acting opportunities, he turned to voice work in smaller independent films, but the financial strain persisted. Alcohol became his solace, and health complications followed. By 2025, at 62, he lives a life of quiet obscurity, struggling with declining health and the painful realization that his career, once so promising, never reached the heights he had once dreamed of. Who's your favorite character from The Thin Blue Line? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.